You're watching Radioactive right here on YouTube. My name is Victoria. With me right now, I'm joined by Arrows in Action. How are you guys doing today?
Yep, doing great.
I'm super excited to have you guys on the show today. And I just want to start off by talking about kind of you guys as a band. I found you guys through TikTok, so I've been learning a bit about you guys through there. So can you just tell me kind of the basics about the band and then just kind of things you want your listeners to know?
Yeah.
I'll do the rundown.
My name's Jesse. I play the drums.
I'm Victor. I sing.
I'm Matt. I play guitar.
And we started the band. I started the band a long, long time ago in a galaxy not so far away. And more recently, in the past 3 or 4 years or so, when Matt joined the band, we became a real band. We're the band you know today. Is that good?
And then we got on TikTok.
Yes, and then we got on TikTok.
And here we are.
And then you'll blow up.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I think that was
all right.
That's a good intro, I think, to the band. And like you guys have mentioned, you've been on TikTok, and that's how I found you. So just how useful has that specific platform been for you guys to promote your music?
Incredibly useful. Especially, we really started using it heavily during quarantine. And back then we had to cancel a tour and everything. So the closest we could get to touring was playing those live streams. And then it became just its own thing. And I feel like most of the fans that we have now, we made during that time.
Yeah.
Or at least like the hardcore fans that first came in, like that are just friends of ours now. TikTok was instrumental for that reason.
And how about just every other social media platform as well, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? How have those been super helpful?
I mean, Jesse kind of runs our Twitter, and it's kind of just a well-known fact among our fans that he runs our Twitter. So it's kind of just part of the joke at this point. Our Instagram, we used to like really be posting every day almost, but like TikTok has really become our newest most used platform, just because it took us a while to kind of find our people, but once we did, now every time we post a video, we're getting new people that are genuine fans or just people that are interested in hearing more of our music. So it's been crazy. Whenever we post one song, all our entire discography gets more streams because we get a ton of new listeners from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we don't remember to post on Facebook. That's a good reminder.
Yes. We just do a little Instagram link thing. So yeah. I think if we post on Instagram, it goes up on Facebook.
Facebook
kind of forgot about that once. Yeah.
Sorry, Facebook people.
And you guys are pretty fresh off of your tour with Bearings. How did that tour go as a whole?
Awesome.
Yeah, it was epic.
Yeah, very, very fun. All those bands are comprised of the sweetest people. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from the bands to the shows, it just kind of felt like it went perfectly. There was a few hiccups just with weather for Salt Lake City and whatnot, but all around it was insane.
Yeah.
And with all of the social media marketing we had done, I feel like we had laid it out to where we could reach all these people online, and we were literally just looking for any reason to tour the US to just hit all of these cities, and it would just worked out so perfectly that it was bands that we were all fans of. We had met Bearings before, we had played a show with Young Culture once before, and so it was really the perfect first US run for us to do, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any favorite shows from that tour?
A couple. For me, I think Anaheim, Boston, Dallas, Orlando.
Yeah,
I would say Orlando. I mean, all of them were incredible, but Orlando was probably my favorite one because that was kind of like a hometown show for us, and you could feel it.
I would say I agree with those because a lot of the bigger ones were awesome, but there's Kansas City was a surprise because it was a tiny show, and no one knew how it was going to go. It was a weird market for everybody, but it ended up just being amazing. And the crowd was small, but just crazy and super supportive and awesome. And it's also a vegan ice cream place. So that was very fun for me. So, yeah.
And do you have any most memorable moments from the tour? Just certain things that stood out to you guys?
There was a lot of great show moments. I will always remember like Between You and Me's like heavy breakdown in their last song, and just like being in the pit for that many nights.
Oh, I've got one with you. So for Between You and Me, every night, their last song, the bass player gives his bass to somebody else to play this like very last part so he can hop in the pit. And a bunch of people had done it on tour, but all the people who actually like play string instruments, of course. And Jesse does not. And he still got up and did it, and just had to like just figured out how to play those 4 notes on the bass. And it was really, really funny. Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones. But,
Yeah.
Driving through the mountains in Colorado.
oh yeah, just seeing
all the
Colorado
nature,
is
pretty
always,
cool.
oh yeah.
Just any night where we were like all on the RVs together, because between you and me and Bearings each had like RVs that they were touring in, and it would just be chaos with all 4 bands just shaking back and forth in this RV. Anytime we were all together, it was probably the most memorable part of the tour.
Anytime I drive, it's like an RV park. Now I just love them.
Mm-hmm. And now just getting into you guys individually, who are some of your biggest like music influences?
You guys want to start these? Want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, mine are all the I mean, it goes back early days to like Mayday Parade and Paramore and Panic, and then more recently like 1975, Charlie Puth, even like 5 Seconds of Summer, kind of old poppy boy band stuff.
For me, I'd say a lot of Bad Sons and like The Story so far, mixed with some Band Camino, like Fall Out Boy.
I would say Foo Fighters and like Black Sabbath and the Descendants, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All great choices. And do you guys find that when you're recording your own stuff, those influences shine through a lot?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it really makes up the healthy mix of what our music is. Like when like listening through Be More all the way. Like I think one thing that we like, the track listing is designed so that at the end of it you should go like, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah,
because we kind of start with the softest song and end with the heaviest. And I think that I think we'll always have that kind of a mixture just because it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Now I just want to get into like certain songs and kind of the writing and recording process through it. So first, I just want to start off with Uncomfortably Numb. Kind of what were you guys thinking of when you wrote this one, and what was the process like?
So Uncomfortably Numb, right after the pandemic had started, we all lived in a house together in Gainesville. And so pretty much like every weekend I would just go out and just like sit out in our backyard and just play. So we wrote up like a bunch of demos, and Uncomfortably Numb was one of them. It was much more of like a Bayside-esque kind of song with a lot faster drums and heavier guitars. And we brought that in September to work on with our producer, Dan Swank. And a lot of the lyrical content was just kind of based around like, you know, coming to be jaded with the thing that you love so much, you know. And when we brought it to Dan, we just decided that we wanted to kind of take a different direction with it, kind of go for like a dark, spooky pop kind of vibe with it. And we just loved how weird and eclectic it got to be, and how well accepted it's been by everybody. Like that post-chorus in that song is so freaking weird and people love it. So I love that we got to do something like that.
Yeah, when I was pushing for a breakdown, I did not expect it to become the like song. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then next up would be Endeavor. What were you guys kind of thinking with this one?
We had written that one out around the same time as Uncomfortably Numb. Like I kind of demoed that out at our house, and we, again, like a lot more of like a chunkier kind of like pop punk kind of song that we took in, stripped down a little bit, and then rebuilt up to have like the very like pretty synthy, sparkly kind of sound. Like we like to joke around, it's kind of like the running song. And so kind of bringing that in the studio again with Dan, Matt and Dan really just stripped that down and made it like as sparkly as it could be, I feel like.
Yeah, just looking for a lot more like things for an instrumentation that wasn't on there, instead of just like just the power chords, just the heavy double time drums.
Yeah,
like,
that's when we kind of beefed up we had like a cabin trip early 2021. And so we went into that trip with Only Be Mine, Uncomfortably Numb, and
Permanent
Vacation, like halfway done-ish. And then at the cabin, we kind of like beefed up and finished / created Endeavor, All the Ways I Could Die, and Compromise.
And then going into your newest release, Put You Through Me, kind of what was that one all about?
So the cool thing about Put You Through Me was we moved to Nashville back in August 2021. And a big part of why we wanted to move here was to work with other songwriters, to work with other producers, and just kind of explore the landscape in Nashville, in terms of working with other people. And we had a friend up here, Spencer Jordan, who's an amazing songwriter who I've known since college, who I was able to get into a room with. And me and some buddies of ours, Jack Book and Knox Morris, just decided to sit down one day and kind of write just to see what would happen. And Spencer asked me, kind of, what are you going through? Like, are you seeing anyone right now? Are you like, what's the story? And I said, I just don't really feel like I'm emotionally or mentally in a place to be seeing anyone right now. I don't feel like I have my own mess together, and I don't want to put someone else through that. And it was a cool experience because it was the first time I had ever written with somebody, and for Spencer to help vocalize what I was feeling so well, it just felt very authentic, and it didn't at all feel like, someone else was writing a song for me. It was just two friends understanding, like several friends understanding the same feeling, and like being able to make that into as comprehensible a song as it could be. So.
Yeah. And when you guys are sitting down to write a song, do you tend to start with guitar or lyrics or melodies? Like, kind of, where do you start when writing?
Seems to always be chords and melody, and then build from there, right? We
usually do like melody and chords, and then Matt will like really beef out what will normally just be like a couple of guitar chords that I'll write out, and then Matt here like really adding the sauce to the song. Then I'll usually kind of start working on lyrics to see what fits the mood they've kind of curated.
And for each of you guys, what would a dream tour look for you? Like, if you were Arrows in Action and you could have, like, say 3 other bands touring with you guys, who would you like dream of touring with?
Ooh, I mean, Camino would be cool. Yes, the band Camino would be cool. I want to open for the Aces really bad. Against the Current. So yeah, that's mine. You guys say something else.
Water Parks, Bad Sons, and Camino would be great.
Yeah.
I'll say 5 Seconds of Summer, the Home Team.
Yes.
And oh man, here's another. And Water Parks. That works. That's a good lineup.
Oh, I do want to tour with the Home Team. Those are some buddies of ours. Yeah. I'd say Against the Current and the Home Team. That'd be mine.
And say this tour happened, what are some places and venues that you'd like want to stop at to play?
If this is dream scenario, I want to play Red Rocks.
That was
Red Rocks, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Wembley.
Madison Square Garden. The Moon.
I want to play House of Blues Orlando as the headliner. I want to headline House of Blues Orlando because that's I'm from there, and Jesse lives there now, so that would feel nice and badass. Yeah.
Perfect. And as far as the band goes, what are some like major goals that you want to accomplish in like the long run with Arrows in Action?
Take over the world.
Take over the world.
We want it to be so when you turn on the radio, it's just us.
I want to be inescapable. I want Arrows in Action to be playing in like the CVS.
This is such a dystopia. We wanted it to be so there's no other music.
We're the only band.
There's just us.
But in all seriousness, I feel like we have a very, very like nice and supportive community. Like not only of us, but like our fans are really supportive of each other. Like we noticed a lot of like when we would play shows, we would see people who had either met on our Discord channel and had like a buddy system for concerts, or we would meet entire family units with matching sweaters and stuff. And like that was amazing. And so really the goal is to just scale that to be as huge as it can be and just have this amazing community of friends that look out for each other and like going to concerts together.
One of the things I love about our band, I feel like, is that like I always used to joke around with the guys that if my mom likes our music, I know we're doing a good job.
Yes.
But like genuinely, our fans are so well spread just across like so many age groups and so many different demographics. And like there will be families with kids who will come out to our shows just to make sure everyone has like one piece of our merch or something like that. And there's also like it's all sorts of people who come out. And it's just been amazing to see that. And I think that really, you know, we're not for everybody, but I love that we're for so many people.
Yeah. And as far as the rest of 2022 goes, what are your guys' plans?
Keep doing it.
So there's going to be a lot of new music, and I mean potentially a lot of shows.
Yeah.
That's the hope. That's
More
the plan.
tours, more music.
Yeah.
TikToks. Plenty more TikToks.
Yeah.
Couple more at least.
If everyone follows us, they will know when those things are happening. But high chance of lots of music and lots of shows.
We're staying very, very, very
active on releasing. So
Perfect. I'm super excited to see what you guys have coming out in the future. And thank you so much for doing an interview today.
Of course.
Sick, of course. Thanks for having us.
Really
Really appreciate it.
So darling, don't get too close. There's nothing here to see. If we